Okay, so welcome everyone to the 1000 Zulrah Kills live stream. Let's get started. There we go, much better. So yeah, John's given me some stats, which I'll share with you now. So the big drop table, which includes Serpentine Visage, Magic Fang, and Tanzanite Fang. The odds of you hitting that table is 1 in 256. However, what? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I misread again. Okay, 1 in 256 chance of landing on that drop table. But you have. I need to continue picking up this stuff. But with every kill, you get 2 rolls of the drop table. And by the way, the pet is a 1 in 2 chance when I'm on a J mod. So don't freak out about the pet. So 1 in 256 chance of hitting the big drop table, and every kill that you get on Zulrah, you get 2 chances of hitting that drop table, since you get 2 runs around the drop table. Let's see. Anything big? There's so many loot broadcasts coming through that I'm not actually going to be able to tell. It's not going to be terribly easy to tell when I'm getting big loots. Open bank. Get that stuff in there. So one thing that John has asked me to do is, we're currently working on achievement diaries, and for those of you that haven't kept up with that, we're going to be releasing 10 achievement diaries at once at some point in February, which is a massive. There's a huge amount of content coming with them. Mod Ghost has been working away on the rewards. If you haven't been following him on Twitter, jagex_ghost, follow him, because some of the stuff he's tweeting out is absolutely phenomenal. Mod Reach is he's been grinding away to get them done. Same with Mod John C, he's been working through it very quickly. And one thing that Mod John C did mention in one of the dev blogs is the potential for some sort of bonus for when you're killing Zulrah as an elite reward of one of the diaries. And at this point, he hasn't actually settled on something to do, and he wants to know what you guys would suggest. If you have any suggestions for what we could potentially do as rewards, a high level. This is going to be a reward for an elite diary, and the requirements on the diary, John has assured me, are absolutely unbelievable. So it's not going to be something that's terribly easy to get by any stretch. So we're looking for a decent reward that will help you kill Zulrah just a little bit. I know that Ash suggested potentially having the item that you get from the diary prevent the snakelings from attacking you. However, I believe that the item that we have in mind is going to be a weapon slot for that particular diary, so it's not going to work. So if you have any ideas, tweet. Oh, we got an elite. Elites, yeah, John has given me that stat, so I'll share it. They are 1 in 75 from Zulrah, so reasonably common. Well, comparatively to other monsters that drop elites. So if you have ideas, tweet them to @JagXJohnC, @JagXRonan, and I was just reading a tweet from Barrow's Boy. I thought he was insulting you, but he wasn't, so it's alright. let me drop these actually. I'll drop elites and keep a tally so we can tell just how many we get total. Let's have a look. We can fill up this inventory a little more. I just spawned 15, didn't I? Damn it. Let's see what suggestions we've got coming in. For the diary reward, access to an altar in the Zulrah area. That'd be interesting. I don't see. I've not done a whole lot of Zulrah since it's been released. I did a fair amount before it was released because my actual personal account absolutely sucks. And I did try to do Zulrah, but I had no money, so I was doing it in practically rag gear. I think I was using a crystal bow and D-hide and a Tyrus helm or something. It was terrible. So yeah, I'm probably not the best person to decide what is balanced and what isn't. So send that through to myself and John. I'll bring it up if I see one that stands out, and we'll see. Maybe it will happen. We haven't set on anything yet, so legitimately, any of your suggestions. Why did I just spawn that many? This isn't good. Oh, this isn't good at all. I'm gonna have to keep on killing them before they despawn, and then I'm gonna have to fill up my inventory. Oh dear, this stream is not going to plan. This is certainly not the best stream that I've done. How many did I spawn in a go there? Too many. Let's go with that. Come on. Oh, this is going to be one hell of a pile of loot. That it? We done? We're done. Lovely. Okay. That's not too bad, actually, getting some... Oh, got an Onyx! That's not too bad. So Onyx is on the big drop table. And for those of you that weren't here 20 seconds ago, seemingly. Oh, Paul Faux Freedom is asking what items are on the big drop table. The big drop table includes the Onyx, Magic Fang, Tanzanite Fang, and Serpentine Visage. So if you've had one of them, you've hit the big drop table. Righty-ho. Spawn a few more. Not like another 40, or however many I spawned. If you guys have any questions about anything old school related, make sure to ask them on Twitter as well. I've got to fill the time while I'm getting through these 1,000 kills, so any questions that you want answered, I'm more than happy to answer. What about the possibility of unlocking an item to negate the effect of Venom after the diary? John did mention the potential for something that maybe gives you a minute or two of immunity inside Zulrah, or something like that. He was just brainstorming. The thing is, if we offer an elite reward that does that, it would somewhat devalue the Serpentine Helm, which does that exact thing. It prevents you getting poisoned or envenomed, so it would take a bit away from that, which isn't necessarily something we want to do. Although if it only worked at Zulrah, perhaps, even then I don't think people would want to use it too much. Do I like popsicles? Yes, I like popsicles. That is probably the worst question I've ever had on this stream. Let's see, come on. Need another big drop. I'm really disappointed though that I reset the start of the stream. For those of you that missed it, I got a Serpentine Visage on my first spawn, but then I had to, I messed up and I forgot to wipe my bank before I started, and had to restart, which is just a bit disappointing. ETA on GE. The Grand Exchange, still, to my knowledge, the best ETA we have is a few weeks. It's a massive job, as you can imagine. If you've been following Ash on Twitter, you've seen that he's made some tremendous progress with it. But there's a lot of work to do, I understand, in terms of setting prices is going to be a very, very time-consuming part of the Grand Exchange. It's coming along nicely, but it will still be another few weeks. Well worth the wait, though. If you haven't seen the screenshots that Mod Ash has been putting up, he was showing it to myself and Mod Reach in the office. I was looking at Mod Reach as he was watching Ash show off this semi-functional, pretty much identical to what the Grand Exchange used to be look like interface, and his face was just lighting up, and I'm so excited for that update. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, I think. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I did say on Twitter not too long ago, one of the benefits of the Grand Exchange that I'm really looking forward to is the fact that it makes PKing much easier, in the sense that selling your loot and buying supplies will be significantly faster. So I feel like a lot of people will want to head to the wilderness once the Grand Exchange is out. Dragon Defender, I believe that Dragon Defender is going to be out definitely in the first half of February. That's about as specific as I am comfortable getting right now. And same goes for achievement diaries, is my understanding. Let's see. Big loots, please. Come on. So much clicking. Why haven't we got the click on the compass to face north thing? I may be wrong. That's another clue there. I may be wrong, but I think that Ian. For those of you that don't know, Ian, well, Ian, the engine guy for the old school team, is not a mod Ian because he's been at Jagex so long. He precedes people having mod in their name. He comes with, yeah. I believe he was working on it. I'm not sure when it is planned for release. I haven't heard much about it, but it's not too far off, I'm sure. It is something that we would like to do. Can you guys vote to get a bigger screen? We're going to be looking into doing resizable mode. I think that's probably what Ash is going to be on immediately after Grand Exchange. I'm not 100% on that. There may be some time in between, but it is definitely a priority for us. Resizable mode is something that it really only has benefits, because if you don't like resizable mode, you can just not use resizable mode. And that is one thing that I've seen a lot of people say about Old School, is they enjoy the game, but they don't necessarily like playing it because they have to strain their eyes so much because they've got a big monitor. A friend of mine actually said that recently. I showed him the OS Buddy stretch your screen out mode. Nailed that name. And he is now playing Old School. So I feel like not having resizable mode is a fairly big barrier for a lot of people to start playing the game. So we definitely want to see that come out, and it is something that we will be seeing in the near future. But it, of course, does still need to pass a poll. But it's resizable mode, so let's be real, it's going to pass a poll. Still going to poll it though. Let's have a look. Any questions coming through in the Twitch chat? If you guys have any questions that you want to send my way, best place to do it, to be honest, is Twitter. Tweet at JagXRonan. I do keep an eye on the Twitch chat throughout the entire stream, but it is tricky to pick out the questions often. Although the chat's going remarkably slow today. Perhaps slow mode is on. Let's see. When is resizable coming out? Again, I believe it's Ash's next job after Grand Exchange, but my understanding is that Ash isn't 100% on how big the job is going to be, because he can't really size it up before he actually gets going with work on resizable. So it will be out at some point after the Grand Exchange, is pretty much as specific as I can get. It'll probably take a fair amount of time to develop, but hey, it's not going to be far off. Oh, that's another elite. Lovely. Didn't mean to spawn them then. Meant to right-click the potato. Oh well. Drop rate on the pet. I didn't actually say what the drop rate on the pet was yet, but now that you've mentioned it, the drop rate on Zulrah pet is, let me get it up here, 1 in 4,000. So, yeah, that is remarkably rare. I think that was the elite that I just got, so I'm not going to count it. 1 in 4,000 on the pet. And for those of you that have got a jar of swamp, for those of you that have been unfortunate enough to get a jar of swamp, they are 1 in 3,000. So not far off the pet, certainly not as rare as the pet, but definitely up there. That's the second rarest item on the drop table. So if you've had one of them, unlucky. This is taking place just north of the Tortoise Pen in the Gnome Stronghold. You can see all these people showing up. Yeah, if you want to come watch, and you can, I think you should be able to see the loot broadcast from there. I believe John tested that out earlier. Maybe I'm a little too far north, I'm not sure. But yeah, if you come along, you'll be able to see the loot broadcast. I say, oh, I just got another elite. Lovely. Okay, get another up. Okay, let's see what. Oh, we just got a subscriber. Lovely. Tell Me Miranda has just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription, Tell Me Miranda. I believe that all of our subscriptions go to charity. I'm not 100% on that. I will find out for the next stream. Let's see. No, people can't telegrab the loot. We've got some invisible barriers up there to prevent any more Kriara incidents from occurring. That would not be great with Zulrah. I would not like to see the death toll. How many kills are we at? 245. This is going to take quite a while. Let's kill these. Can I do 1,000 elite clue scroll loops? No, I think I did 5,000 elite clue scroll loops back immediately following the clue scroll update. I'm not entirely sure if it was 5,000 or 1,000, but either way, it's already been done, and the video will be up on the Old School YouTube channel, youtube.com/oldschoolrs community. And we got another subscriber, Swark. I'm going with Swark. Thank you for the subscription, Swark. But yeah, if you want to check that out, you can go back and watch that video on the Old School channel. I don't believe that the drop tables have changed at all, so it should still be absolutely accurate. Let me see. Oh, banking is the worst. I absolutely despise banking on the potato. Rev caves. Can't really do rev caves without PvP armors, and the Old School community have made it very, very, very clear that PvP armors are not something that they are interested in. So the odds of rev caves happening are slim to none. Although something similar that perhaps sparks the PvP activity, another elite that the rev caves did. That's more than possible, as you guys see from the Wilderness Rejuvenation project. We're absolutely interested in boosting wilderness activity. Rev caves, probably not going to happen. Something that has similar effects on PvP, perfectly possible. Let's see. Come on, big loot. Nothing. Rubbish. Okay, let's have a look at Twitter and see what questions we've got coming through. What's the Mats PKer option on the potato? The Mats PKer option, I'm not going to show you, as then I'll have to clear my inventory, and I can't left click. The left click option on the potato is where wipe inventory is, and every time I left click my potato, it spawns Zulrahs, so I'll have to faff about with that. It sets you up with... Almost wiped my bank there, that would have been terrible. It sets you up with, I think, full 3rd age mage, and puts you on ancients and fills your inventory with some, I think, brews and restores. And it also makes it so you can attack players and they can attack you. I think it was from when from when Matt was doing events in Clan Wars. I'm not 100%. But I thought I saw Swamp Tar and I thought it was Jar of Swamp. Damn it. But yeah, that's all it does. And I didn't realise that... Let's get 2 elites. I got 2 elites. Lovely. Let's get you on there and you on there. I once clicked that before I knew what it did. All I knew was that it set you up in mage gear. And for some reason I needed that. I think it was for one of these live streams. And then I used one of the ancient teleports, and there was a clan there. And I thought, oh, never mind, they won't be able to attack me. But little did I know, they could attack me. And they all freaked out. Saw a guy in full 3rd age suddenly appear in deep wilderness. Risking, like, it must have been at least 50 mil risk. And I appear and they all attack me, and it turns out that I was practically invincible, so they didn't stand a chance. But essentially I trolled a massive team of PKs, which is absolutely lovely. Let's have a look. Can we get imbued rings of recall? It can inflict 2 times the damage of the normal ring of recall and be very useful for Zulrah. How would you imbue it is what I would ask. Would you do it through Nightmare Zone? Would you do it elsewhere? I don't necessarily dislike the idea, but the thing about... do you mean 2 times the damage as in it would deal... What does Ring of Recall deal? 10%, isn't it? I think. Yeah, 10%. So would it deal 20% of what you of damage that you receive, or would it deal... What's the limit on the Ring of Recall? At what point does it degrade? Does it shatter? Would it double the limit? Yeah, those are the questions that I'd have for you if you were suggesting that. Let's see. Big loots, please. Come on. We've only had one. We've had an Onyx so far. We did get a Serpentine Visage, but not in this set of kills, unfortunately. 40 damage, that's the one. Let's see. Twitter, where are your questions at? Any possibility in adding in Bounty Hunter Craters? I don't think that we'll be adding in Bounty Hunter Craters, purely because we've already got Bounty Hunter Wilds, and one thing that I know a lot of PKs are a little concerned about is spreading the PKing community quite thinly across numerous places to PK. We've already got Bounty Hunter, Bounty Hunter in Edgeville on World 318. We've already got PvP worlds, and we've got Wilderness on every other world. If we were to offer another place to go and PK, then it probably wouldn't boost activity so much as it would kind of split off the community that little bit more and make it a bit harder to find people to fight, which is always an issue when PKing. Ideally, you want to be able to go into the wilderness, immediately find a fight, kill them or die or teleport, and then re-gear, go back and immediately find another fight. If everyone's spread out over 3 different places to PvP, or 4 different places to PvP, that is not ideal. Come on, click. Empty my inventory. Let's have a look so far, what we got. Certainly the rarest loot there is the Uncut Onyx. That is we got a 1 in 256 chance of hitting the big drop table, which contains 4 items: the Onyx, Tanzanite Fang, Magic Fang, and Serpentine Visage. And that rolls twice per kill, so you get 2 rolls on that table per kill. So it's a very rare item from Zulrah, because you can't kill Zulrah as fast as I am, unfortunately. 79,000 scales. That's a lot less scales than I thought it would be, to be quite honest. We did tweak the drop table last week. We just shuffled it around a bit. We did bring down the overall profitability of Zulrah by a reasonable amount. Fact is, Zulrah is still incredibly profitable, especially if you're very competent at killing it, which is what the plan was since before release. We wanted a solo boss that you could grind for decent profit, and if you were good at it, then you would get a really decent amount of money. It was a little higher than the community anticipated, so we did bring it down a bit, and there were a few items in there that people had concerns of the price with, so we removed some of them or lowered the drop rate and lowered the... Yes, Serpentine Visage, lovely. So we tweaked it a bit. It was more of a shuffling around than anything. Let's have a look. Lovely. Let's have a look at Twitter, see what questions we got coming in. Let's see what other information John's left me with, actually. I've DM'd it to myself on Twitter. Let's have a look. So, to summarise what I've gone over so far, you've got the big drop table, where you've got a 1 in 256... you've got the normal drop table, where you've got a 1 in 256 chance of landing on the big drop table. And then... every time you kill Zulrah, you get 2 rolls on the normal drop table, so you get 2 chances of hitting the big drop table. Big drop table has the Magic Fang, Tanzanite Fang, Serpentine Visage, and Uncut Onyx. And that gives each item an effective drop rate of 1 in 512. And then we've got the Jar of Swamp, comes in at 1 in 3,000 chance of getting a Jar of Swamp. Pet Snake is 1 in 4,000, so just slightly rarer, well, quite a bit rarer. Then Elite Clue Scrolls, 1 in 75. And then we've got Crystal Seeds and Spirit Seeds are 1 in 256. So that's all of the information that John's left me with. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. How many kills are we? 405 kills in. We're not getting terribly lucky. Every time I click the pile, I can't tell whether or not it's picking stuff up because it's all stacking. There we go. Lovely. Let's have a look. Twitter questions. Gothic's God Sword? Ugh. That doesn't seem terribly fitting. I mean, if you can come up with a great way that could somehow slot into the lore and everything else, then go nuts. Let's have a look. Dragon items like Dragon Warhammer and things like that. I don't think we have anything against the idea of finishing the dragon sets, making sure that all of the items are released. However, people can be quite precious when it comes to dragon items and where they come from. We did poll the dragon plate body. I'm not sure where we pulled it to come from. I think it may have been Thermi, but people were quite against it coming from Slayer. So I think that if we do finish up the dragon sets, we'd have to do it in a very particular way. We'd have to make sure that the community are well aware of what exactly, how exactly they want that update to go. But we don't have any immediate plans to finish up the dragon gear. Let's have a look. Well, we've got Model Lion coming in with the... He's asking for a shout out. Wow. There we go. Model Lion asking for a shout out for hashtag Rune Labs. I have had a look at Rune Labs and I'm looking forward to the release of the support option. Because at the minute, I've seen all these ideas. Now I just want to see which ones people are going to jump on and which ones are going to rocket to the top. Because you know it's going to happen. One of them's just going to be way up there. Any chance of Zulrah Slayer tasks in the future? I don't... We're going to be doing a Slayer update later on this year. I believe it's planned for the first half of this year. Not 100% on the specifics of when, but it's coming in the not too distant future. And during that, we're probably going to be discussing a few things. A couple of things that come up a lot are Boss Slayer and Co-op Slayer. Co-op Slayer has been polled before, but the reason for it failing, at least we feel the reason for it failing, is probably people expecting Co-op Slayer to offer better experience rates, which is not ever something that the community tend to get behind. But that isn't necessarily what we want Co-op Slayer to be. We just want people to be able to do the same Slayer task as their friends, so that they can hang around with a friend as they're doing Slayer, which is something that I would definitely get behind. I'll be honest, I cannot stand Slayer. It is easily my least favourite skill in the game and always has been. But I'd be much more inclined to train it if I could do the same task as a friend every task. The specifics of how that would work, we haven't really thought about yet, but it wouldn't be something that you could do to get experience benefits. It would purely be something for the sake of, oh, you can go and do Slayer with a friend, which I think is a solid way of doing Co-op Slayer. So we're going to be probably proposing another version of Co-op Slayer when that Slayer update comes out, or when we start talking about it more. And then what else was it? What was the rest of the question? Boss Slayer. Yeah, that'll probably come alongside that. The idea is to... A lot of people have an absolute ton of very varied Slayer suggestions, and instead of putting a few out every so often, we're basically saving up all of these solid ideas, and we're going to do one massive Slayer update. Because, let's be real, the old school community cannot get enough of Slayer. It is absolutely unbelievable. It blows my mind how into Slayer people are. I'd rather grind. I'd rather sit there and kill the same monster for hundreds of hours and get better experience rates, even though I know it's not technically better experience. Whatever, get out. I'll stick to my semi-AFK methods, thank you very much. Okay, another clue scroll, lovely. I can just feel the hate coming already for not liking Slayer. Are you going to release the Abyssal Scimitar? I've not heard anything about the Abyssal Scimitar. In fact, we did talk about that on a Q&A recently, I think. I know that we have plans for an Abyssal Demon boss, which again I believe is planned to come out with that Slayer update. And I know that Alfred, before he abandoned us, he made that Abyssal Dagger on stream. We've got that lying around, so I'm probably going to put that to use. Whether or not that comes alongside an Abyssal Scimitar, perfectly possible. When's the new continent coming? I'm not 100%. That is a massive, massive question. I know that Mod Reach has massive... I saw that fang on the floor. Lovely Tanzanite fang. So, for those of you that don't know, Tanzanite fang is what you make the blowpipe with, the toxic blowpipe. So yeah, that's one of the items on the big drop table. But to get back to it, Zaya, Modreach has big plans for Zaya, and as you guys are, I'm sure, are well aware at this point, we've said it enough times, it's not going to be even close to a small update. It's going to be adding a map, an area the size, I think we described it as from Prifdynus to Falador, or to Tavali, onto the side of the map. So that's enormous, and we've got to pack it with content. So we haven't started development on that yet. I know that Modreach has got a lot of plans he's been working through. I know he's tweeting about coming up with ideas for an Uber quest, which I'm looking forward to. So we don't have a specific date in mind at this point. Once he gets started with developing Zaya, we'll be able to give you constant updates and more specific ideas of when it might be coming. For now, keep an eye out. Right, let's see what else we got coming in. Brawling Gloves poll. Ooh. I wouldn't mind seeing Brawling Gloves, but generally the community are more against it. Pretty much anything to do with bonus experience is often accompanied with frowns from many parts of the community. I don't think we necessarily have any reason not to poll it though. If there's enough demand, then we can absolutely poll it. What are some of the ideas for the Slayer point rewards for the upcoming update? I don't actually know. I know that essentially at the minute we have been receiving suggestions for months on end for a ridiculous number of things to do with Slayer. I'm sure that Mojonsi's got a list the size of his arm to pack the Slayer points rewards with new content. And I'm sure that you guys have plenty of suggestions. If you do, then send them in. We will see them, and if they're quality suggestions, then we'll write them down, and they could well happen. It's one thing that I don't think a lot of people understand in the community. I mean, more and more people are starting to understand this, but if you send us something, whether it's on Reddit, the forums, Twitter, if we see it, then we are reading it, and if it's a solid idea, and if it's something that could potentially pass a poll, then there's every chance that it could happen. Can't tell you how many times we've just seen a tweet come in, or we've seen a post on the forums, and then a month later that thing has been in game. So never hesitate to send your ideas our way. It's the absolute worst thing you can do. Let's have a look at Twitter. I want to get one of every big drop. We're doing alright so far. We've got 3, haven't we? What have we got? Let's have a look. So we've got the Serpentine Visage, Onyx, and Tanzanite Fang. So we just need a Magic Fang in the next 440 kills, and then we're sorted. Although, to be honest, we're still yet to get a Jar of Swamp, which I'll be a little disappointed with if by the end of the stream we don't have it. Ooh. Oh, just give me 1 sec, guys. Right. Just had to blow my nose, and I'm pretty certain that you'll all appreciate the fact that I muted the mic and changed screens for that. Okay, let's see what we got. Anything? Nothing? Nothing. Nothing. Rubbish. Okay. There was a guy on Twitch recently that I did see who had, I think it was 700 kills dry. And he was so frustrated with being so dry that he posted on the forums, or someone else posted on the forums potentially, it may have been him, may have not. I responded to the post that was on the forum saying, it's just bad luck, keep it up and you'll get something sooner or later. And what he'd done is he'd screenshotted that forum post out of frustration and put it on top of his chat box in his stream. And I joined his stream and he was looking rather angry. About 750 kills dry, something around there. And yeah, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry to that guy, it is terribly unlucky, but it's absolutely hilarious at the same time. Let's have a look. Anything good? Anything? Nothing? Nothing. Rubbish. Let's have a look. Can you link official Zulrah drop rate? If you guys want to see all of the drop rates that I've mentioned in this stream written down, and I'm sure along with tons of other information about Zulrah that you may want, then follow @JagXJohnC on Twitter. He's made up some graphics. He's going to be tweeting them out containing all of the information that I've gone over in a much more concise manner, because I am absolutely terrible at reading out specific information on stream. How's it going, Nina? I see you in the chat there. Ring of what? You keep saying Ring of Wealth, but I don't know what you mean by Ring of Wealth. What about Ring of Wealth? If you're asking whether or not I'm wearing one, no, I'm not, because really the Ring of Wealth only only affects your odds of getting items from the rare drop table. Stuff like gems and key halves and whatnot. Let's have a look. Can we buy unholy... Oh wait, no, we can buy unholy books, etc. back from the guy upstairs at Edgeville. If lost in the worldie, could you also do this for Void? No, we couldn't. The reason for that is Void relies on other people being at pest control, and if you offer people... If you want to go and get Void to begin with, you need people at pest control. You can't get it solo. It's not possible. Absolutely impossible. If we then give a way for people to get their Void back without having to go back to pest control, then that cuts out a chunk of the population that would be there to begin with. It would impact the population. I thought I saw a magic fang. I'm really gutted now. It would cut down on the number of people at pest control, which is definitely not something that we would want to do. So look at the chat, see what's coming in. Truthful saying, how can I be a noob if I have a rune two-hander? That's a very good point. What is this? Uncut Onyx, not too shabby. Could have been a magic fang. Gutted. Okay, let's empty my inventory. How many people we got here now? I want to go over there, but I'm absolutely terrified of Zulrah just somehow killing everyone in a Kriara-like fashion. Matt. Let's see, anything? Nothing. Rubbish. Every time. We just got an Onyx, but it's not good enough. Okay. Check Twitter again, we've got a few more notifications. Can you show us the holiday option on the potato? Also, what do you think the average price of the pet from Zulrah will be? The pet from Zulrah isn't tradable. If it... Oh, I'm assuming you mean if it was tradable. Oh, I can't even imagine. If pets were tradable, that's a good question actually. I would love to see how much they'd be worth. Oh, we've got another elite. Lovely. See what else we got coming in. Stealing Creation coming to 07. Probably not. We're not against doing something similar. A minigame for skillers essentially. I saw Magic Clogs and I thought it was a Magic Fang. I'm constantly getting mixed up by this boss. No, Stealing Creation. The issue with it is recreating a minigame like that in Old School. First off, Stealing Creation had an absolutely massive amount of assets that came along with it. Not to mention the fact that if you're trying to recreate something in an essentially different game, there are going to be differences that people will notice, and it will never be quite what people expect it to be, which isn't ideal. We'd rather come up with something original and see, not have those potentially unrealistic expectations there. Another elite. There we go. Loving it. We'd rather go with a new minigame rather than over recreating an old one. Why no wilderness boss pets? I don't know, to be honest. I think that is one of the biggest letdowns for me, at least, in recent memory. I think that wilderness boss pets would have been absolutely fantastic, and I've had a lot of requests for that to go on to the near miss poll. For those of you that haven't heard about that, we're going to be doing a poll at some point this year, probably in the not too distant future. I'd quite like to get it out of the way as soon as possible, to be quite honest, but it is a matter of finding a gap where if we poll this stuff, the guys will actually be able to deliver it and won't be swamped with other updates as they usually always are. The near miss poll will be stuff that came close or we feel sentiment may have changed on getting repolled. So stuff like pressing the spacebar to skip through dialogue. It's been a very long time since that failed. We were never really, well, at least I've not ever had a clue why that failed. The community seems absolutely for it every time it comes up, so give that another shot. Stuff that came close, and enough time has passed that sentiment may have changed. Probably won't consist of many big updates. We're not going to be repolling stuff that is absolutely game-changing and failed for a very clear reason that likely hasn't gone away or anything like that. Mostly be a bunch of minor quality of life things that we get a lot of requests for, and we don't really have a reason for saying this failed because of. Fist of Gothic, same story with Fist of Gothics and Stealing Creation, to be honest. It's Magic Fang! Yes, we got all four. We got 2 Onyxes as well. Beautiful. Oh, I would have been gutted if we finished the streaming and didn't get that. Fantastic. Okay, let me bank so I can concentrate on the chat. Oh, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. 11 D meds. Jeez. Okay. Let me see your stats. My stats don't really matter when I'm hitting like this. What am I not 99 in? Could be something. Thieving, there we go, 45. I don't remember why I have no idea why I loaded that. Let's have a look. What are the purpose of jars of swamp slash sand slash dirt? I don't know. I have to ask John. I'm sure he's got something in mind. What it is beats me. Will you ever repoll Pure's being able to return to Karamja without claiming defense experience? I think you mean Apatol. And maybe. I'm not going to say no, because sentiment can change in a rather drastic way. Grand exchange. So it's not impossible, but I think that Old School has generally always said if you're a Pure, you got to deal with the consequences of the choice of being a Pure, which I don't think is unreasonable. But at the same time, with something like the experience gained from going back to Apatol, it is a bit. It's a bit of a barrier that I don't like, purely because a lot of people don't realise, and then it kind of stops their account halfway through creating it, which I think is just unfortunate. I'm a little sympathetic, but the last time it polled, it didn't come close, so I don't think that will be on the near miss poll. Maybe it'll happen in the future, maybe it won't. We'd have to see a pretty significant change in the way that people are looking at that sort of thing. Suggestion: make supersets a thing on the trading post. I think that's a reasonable idea, actually. I'd have to run it past Ash. I know that he's... I've spoken to him in the past about something. I think it was packs for God pages. And he seemed to have no issues with that. So maybe there's some other stuff that we can set up in packs. If you have any suggestions, send them over to @JagXAsh. He's incredibly active on Twitter. He responds to, I think, literally everyone. If he sees an idea that he likes, then he'll be more than happy to do it. So yeah. How many can you spawn without breaking the game? That is a question that I'm not interested in finding the answer to. I'm not going to risk it. This is in a live world. I'm not playing around with breaking the game. Let's see, what have we got? Will Onyx Eye be repolled in that near miss poll? I'd have to have a look at how close it was. I don't remember. I don't personally have an issue with Onyx Eye, although I'm not sure what impact it would have on the other rings that have come into the game since, well, I assume since the Onyx Eye failed. What was it? Ring of the Gods. All the rings from the wilderness bosses. I'm not sure what kind of impact the Onyx Eye would have on them, so it's definitely something we would have to consider before contemplating putting it on the poll. Another clue shot. We're getting an absolute ton. Loving it. Okay, we're nearing 1,000 kills now. Oh, only a couple of hundred more. Almost at an hour in. Although I did start, I think I started this run because I messed up the first run. I started this run at 6 minutes past. Fingers crossed we'll get it in an hour, bang on. Barrow's boy was tweeting me earlier with the screenshots of his loot from 1,000 Zulrah Kills. Saying, don't even bother with the stream, I've done it already. Get out, Barrow's boy. You haven't done it as fast. Don't count. If you didn't get them all in an hour, what are you doing? Why'd you even bother? Would it be possible to add an update to buy multiple God books and also a buy X amount for Avas? I got asked the Avas question on a recent community live stream and I completely forgot about it, so my bad for that. I'll run it past one of the guys tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to DM it to myself so I don't forget. At Jagex Ronan, don't forget Ava's question, you nub. Yeah, I'll ask the guys tomorrow. I'm not sure about that. And what was the other question? Multiple god books. Again, I'm not sure about that. I believe that the reason those kinds of things are how they are. Well, I don't think there's a particular reason for it, so much as those limits are there because, and it may be an incredibly horrible job to remove them. I'm not sure. I'll run it past the guys as well. Let's see. Bring back resting / musician rest stops. We did actually discuss this on stream last week. Most people are okay with using stamina pots, from what I've seen. It's only the occasional time, it's only very occasionally that I'll see people asking for rest back. If you haven't used stamina potions yet, buy a stamina potion. They are well worth the money. It is the most satisfying thing to run absolutely miles and just have your run energy not drain at all. They reduce your run energy by the drain rate of your run energy by, I think it's 70% for 2 minutes, and correct me if I'm wrong. And they also restore, I think, 40 run energy as you drink the dose. But essentially they are a great alternative to rest. And we did actually stream something on the last dev Q&A. We streamed, we polled the agility cape having the ability, giving the player that's wearing it the ability to rest, which I absolutely love. I feel like that gives people so much incentive to go for 99 agility, and because so few people will be able to hit that goal, it wouldn't really devalue stamina potions because the majority of people aren't going to bother. So the value in stamina potions would still be there, but for those really dedicated people that really go out of their way, 20 run energy, my bad, that really go out of their way to get 99 agility, they'd have that option there, which I think it's fitting for the skill. I think it would be reasonably balanced, and I think it is probably the only thing that would ever even come close to tempting me into getting 99 agility. I think the highest I've ever got agility is maybe 70 on RS3, and even that, I'm not 100. I think I'm wrong in saying that. I don't think I even got close to 70. Well, I've never been able to do Saradam in God Wars because I cannot be bothered with agility. I'm not very good at grind. Let's have a look. See what questions we've got coming in. Fastest Zulrah kill time. Who holds the record? I'm not actually sure. We don't have anything alerting us of new records as it goes in. All of the records are recorded, of course. And if we ever get somewhere that we can display them, like a high scores, then we will absolutely set that up. But right now, we don't have a way of displaying who is number one. The fastest that I've seen personally is 54 seconds. Someone posted that, I believe, yesterday on Reddit. 54 seconds is absolutely unbelievable. People are getting so good at that boss. I love it. I keep on clicking for way longer than I need to. There we go. What questions we got coming in? Blood and Soul rune crafting. I'm not 100% on if we have any plans for that. I would expect something like that to come from Zaya, if it was going to happen. But again, I'm not 100% if that's been discussed. Does seem quite fitting though. Massive new expansive area gets discovered and hey, look, a couple of altars. Gnome Ball tournament or riot? Truthful. Go play Gnome Ball by yourself. No one's interested. I'm killing Zulrah here. Leave it out. What are you killing these for? I'm killing 1,000 of them. Generally people like seeing these streams because it gives them a rough idea of what kind of loot. Once I get 1,000 kills, there'll immediately be someone screenshotting it, going over into Excel and calculating how much money it is per kill based on 1,000 kills. I know that a lot of people have already done it, but hey, worth doing anyway. People love these streams. But People like seeing it, is pretty much some of it. Killing lots of a boss very fast is something that, or at least this fast, is something that can't really do as a player, so I think that's where the intrigue comes from. Let's see what questions we got coming out. Another Onyx! Completely missed that. Lovely. Third Onyx! I'm getting incredibly lucky with them. It's the only big table drop that I've had duplicates of. Got 3 so far, that's ridiculous. Will there ever be a mageable boss? You could mage Zulrah, in fact it'd be a little bit foolish not to at this point. Well, Matt K in the chat saying he loves the music. You know what, I loved it the first time I heard it, an hour ago. As much as I do love doing these streams, the one letdown for me has to be the fact I have to listen to the same like 10 tracks on loop. There's nothing stopping me getting some more tracks and sending them over, but it is miserable. When will Bounty Hunter high scores come out? The deal with high scores is that it requires the time of the web team, and the web team are incredibly busy people. I thought that the Swamp Tile was another Onyx, damn it. The web team rarely ever have time, and we have a fair number of requests for the web team. So where the high scores come on that list, I couldn't tell you specifically. We don't really have a set date or time frame in mind for high scores at the minute. Same goes with everything else, like boss kill count and all of that sort of stuff. Any counters in game. I'm not sure which we would put into the high scores actually. Okay, we're getting close to 1,000 now. How are you guys going to incorporate the prices of items in the GE? There are a number of ways of finding out a reasonable market price. There's a very reliable third-party website that has tracked it all for a very long time, and is generally very accurate, which is, I suppose, is what we're going to be going off for the most part. If anything sticks out as that shouldn't be like that, then we'll make sure to manually tweak it to be more representative of the actual market value. But that from what I can understand, that's going to be a very time-consuming process to get all that information in there. Let's have a look. Very close now. I'm going to try spawning 4 at once and just fill up my inventory straight off the mark. Will you guys ever consider adding the feature add logs to fire at all in OSRS? So bonfires, I suppose, is what you're asking. And I don't think bonfires would ever make it into old school, at least not in the same way that they are in RS3. The essentially semi-AFK fire making methods. People are very particular about keeping the grind in old school and making it keeping it as challenging as possible. And fire making is hands down one of the most tedious skills in the game, and you've really got to give credit to people that manage to get 99, because that's a lot of clicking. It's not the slowest skill in the game, but it is certainly one of the most I'm just going to come out and say it, horrible. I wouldn't want to do fire making for however many hours it would take to get 99. It would drive me mad. So we wouldn't really want to take away that aspect of, if you've got 99 fire making, you have gone through your wrist it's a survivor. Bonfires would, if we were going to do something similar to bonfires, it would have to be separate. I think it would have to be done in a way that doesn't impact on the achievement of getting 99 fire making. Bare hand implings. That's been mentioned numerous times by, I think, either John or Ash. So I think it's something that we are intending on doing at some point. When that point is, I couldn't tell you. Another elite. Lovely. Bank. How many kills we got left? We've got to be close now. Okay, it's the last 15 kills. There we go, 1,000. Once we're done with these 15, we can show you the loot. And I'll go over all of the drop rates again just before the end of the stream for those of you that may have missed it. Come on, one last big loot. That's all we need. Let's get 5 big loots off these 5. I don't think we got anything good. Oh, gutted. Ronan, will kebabs have a larger role in RuneScape in the future? I hope so. Okay, let's see. What have we got? So we have an absolute ton of loot, as you should expect from Zulrah. Let's go through. Let's organise this a bit so that those screenshots that you guys are probably taking right now look a little nicer. I'm not very good at organising stuff. I probably should have thought this through. Let's get them there. Right, I'll right click all of these so you all know what they are. Get all of it in some weird, vague order. You know what? That'll do. I can't be bothered. So, we've got 1 Serpentine Visage, 1 Tanzanite Fang, 1 Magic Fang, and 3 Uncut Onyxes. These 4 items are all on the big drop table. The big drop table, you have a 1 in 250... Yes, 1 in 256 chance of hitting the big drop table from the normal drop table. And for every Zulrah kill you get, you have 2 rolls on the normal drop table. So you get 2 chances at hitting the big drop table for every kill. The effective rarity of these, not the DMed, sorry, of these 4, is 1 in 512. What else do we have? What are the stats we got? Okay, I've got another stats for you. Where is it? Load! Twitter, you're failing me. Twitter's not loading. Okay, the pet. Let's talk about the pet. That'll keep us going until my DMs decide to load. The pet is 1 in 4,000. And as many of you will know, 4,000 Zulrah kills is no joke. And then the Jar of Swamp, which I wasn't lucky enough to get, is 1 in 3,000. So not far off the drop rate of a pet, but still, in fact, there's a pretty fair chunk. And I do have one more stat for you, but unfortunately my DMs won't load on Twitter, which is where I've stored it. In fact, no, here we go. Crystal Seeds and Spirit Seeds are 1 in 256. And that's the only specific stats that I've got for you guys. The rest of it, let's go through these. Dwarfweed, Toadflax, Toadstool Seeds, Snapdragons, Dwarfweed, Toadflax, Papaya, Magic Seed, Spirit Seed. Oh, there you go, lots of things. What else won't you be able to tell? Crystal Seeds, Battle Staffs, and that is pretty much all there is to it. I'm sure you guys will have your screenshots going up on Reddit in your Excel spreadsheets calculating how much it was per kill and whatnot. At least I hope you guys do. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this stream. Thank you guys for tuning in, asking your questions. A reminder, if you have any ideas for what could be an elite reward that would help you with killing Zulrah, send it to @JagXJohnC or @JagXRonan. We're looking for an idea for achievement diaries. We did mention in devlogs. Got distracted by chat. We did mention in devlogs that we would have something that would give you a slight advantage at Zulrah. We haven't pinned any particular idea down yet, so if you send in suggestions, there is a very good chance that your suggestion could make it into game. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this stream, so thank you guys for watching. Make sure you follow the Twitch channel. We have, of course, a ton of Old School and RuneScape 3 streams planned. Specifically tomorrow at 5 PM GMT, weekly Old School Dev Q&A. Make sure you tune in, send your questions to @JagXArchie. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say for this stream, so thank you guys for tuning in, and goodbye.